Welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on the Sugaridoo Quilt Along from 2019. It is part 5, row 4. There we go, part 5, row 4. And what we need to do is kind of like a chevron between the background fabrics and your highlighted fabric, which is an orange colored fabric. And because I'm trying to use all patterned in my projects as I'm going forward on this project of the Quilt Along, I'm trying to use as much patterned of my orange or whatever colored fabric that I have, hence the beautiful, lovely orange hashtag or pound sign here, there, and that was the first one. The little tiny triangles, pink triangles, was the second one. The blue Tetris was the third, and we just finished up last weekend, which is 4, and it's the triangles, and I used 3 different colored of greens to represent those triangles as we went along on this project. And of course I'm using black as my background. This one I have 2 different oranges. They're more on the, one's more on the darker scale, I guess, and then you have your background fabric as well. Now this one is a very fun and easy one, and you can do it any way you like. There's no right, no wrong. If you want to follow Miss Irina's how she stitched hers on what she started with in every single size, then go ahead and click on the link below and follow there and do what she did. She's got a list there for you. It's pretty much, you got to get yourself to 70 inches. And that's it. And you start yourself off with a 4-inch by 4-inch square, just like this, okay? And then you're going to cut anywhere from 1.5, 1 inch, or 1 1/4 to up to 2 inches strips of your background fabric and your main fabric that you're going to be using. Now this little piece here was just like a very sample bit of fabric. There wasn't very much there at all, but I really liked the texture of it and the deepy kind of rusty orange of it as well, to be able to play against my black background fabric. So you start off with your 4 by 4 inch right there, and then you're going to use a background and then your main fabric and a background and your main fabric. Actually, I think right here is where you should have been putting your gray or your accent fabric, but you know me, I'm a rebel. I got to do what I got to do, so I have it up 1 more or 2, and then it's alternating your main fabric and then your background fabric on how you go across this whole project. And you want to get yourself to 70 inches. Now that's not 70 inches from this tip right here, because that's clearly not going to be a full strip. So you want 70 inches from this where it's going to line up to cut as a nice straight, you know, edge to be able to put against to make it as a full row for your project. Okay, so very simple and lovely and fun to do. Like I said, I just kind of busted a couple of oranges that I had here and tried to pick things with a little bit of pattern because I had the solid as my background, and I got a little stack of more fabrics to do here. So you want to cut them at 3.5 and 5. And then you're going to put the 3.5 on the one side, like here, we're going to start right now with this little piece, which is the background. So we're going to lay the 3.5 up on this side and then the 5 up on that side. And then we're going to take our other little accent fabric of the orange, and we're going to put the 3.5 on that side and the 5 on that side, and just keep going and building and building and building. So I'm just alternating. What I have is a little light and a little dark, little light, little dark when it comes to the orange. So I think it's going to look beautiful when complete. I did do a little chalk mark here-ish where it was about halfway to get to my 70 point. So we'll put that on the number 35 here of the measure. Oh, no, we've got to scoot that up a bit. That was my bad. I didn't take into effect what I had already told you. All right, so we got to go about here. Okay, so there. So we have pretty much from here, this section here, all the way to the end to be able to complete with these fabric cuts right here. So let's get cracking. All right, start with the background. The smaller piece first goes on the short side or the first side, okay? And then just a 1/4 inch seam allowance, nothing too fancy McPancy or anything like that, just regular. You can use your walking foot or your regular foot, whatever you like. And then once I bring it up, I just kind of, after I've sewn that, I just kind of do like a little thumbnail press, I guess, just to make sure it's lying flat before I introduce the other piece to make the chevron into effect. And of course, then I'm going to actually flip my project. So I'm now looking at the bottom side of it. Line it up where it is the 90 by 90 right there, okay? Line them up on top of each other and then come on down. And it's really quite simple. It's a beautiful, simple block. And when you think of it as many of the rows, like how long you want to make your row, you could do this as a beautiful quilt project, an absolutely beautiful quilt project. For sure. Just make your rows in your little strip bits of fabric. You don't always have to be making like log cabins or strip pieces or rail fences or whatever with your scrap bits. If you just have strips and strips, you could do something beautiful like this. Little chevrons both ways, or this way and that way, or making it a wave, or, you know, 3 this and 3 that, or make it odd and even. It doesn't matter. I think it'll just be fun and beautiful. All right, so now we're going to take our next piece, which is the darker of the orange with the little pattern of a leaf on it, and we're going to just add it right onto the right-hand side of the fabric, and then we'll add the longer piece to the left-hand side of the fabric. Okay, so we just want to line it up so it's nice and even right here on the 90 by 90. Okay, 90 degrees by 90 degrees. Make sure they're nice and squarish. And just keep trucking away. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. It really isn't. And if you just do your like finger presses in between, you get a nice flat seam. And then when you go to trim it, which you want it to be 4 inches wide, and of course then you would ride the edge or the 2-inch part of your ruler right on the seams where these meet up, the corner to corner to corner to corner, all the way down, and just give it a nice trim, 2 inches on one side, 2 inches on the other, and you're good to go. I believe that's what it is 2 inches. If I'm wrong, I will cry. Mine will just be a little bit shorter than everybody else's, if that's the case. There we go. And then just do a nice, really good finger nail press, just with your nails, kind of drag it along. Or if you have like a little bamboo skewer or something like that, or even just like a little pressing tool. I've actually was gifted a plastic one a long time ago. And then you just keep going like that. And now this time we're going to add the black fabric, which is our background, and then we'll add one with this fabric here because we're alternating, right? We got the medium or the darker orange, and then the lighter orange and darker orange, and then so on and so forth. So we're just going to build that out until we have the inches we need to be able to flip this in half and then be able to trim it and square it off, and it's our row 4, but part 5. Of the Quilt Along. It's very exciting. Very, very exciting. I'd love to know if anybody else is partaking in this. I know there was a few that were very interested in it and loved that I was busting my stash on making this happen and using different fabrics here and there. I didn't want to go too elaborate with the orange because I already had such a kind of collaborative mixy-matchy with the first one with the hashtags. So this one I really wanted to make different colored oranges so it didn't clash or conflict with the first one. So I just wanted to really showcase what I have as my stash, and I'm using it. All right, so there's our background. Now we need to add this beautiful little light one here with the little swirls. It kind of reminds me of a fennel. Is it not fennel? No, what am I thinking of? Little things that you grow. They grow and it turns into a big fern. That's what it is. So, beautiful. Sophie's snoring. I apologize if you happen to catch her snoring. I love when the dog snores. She's so comfy in her chair. I haven't moved her chair over. I was going to move it over here a little bit, and I just haven't quite figured out how I want to do it without her feeling uncomfortable or squished between me and the pellet stove, so I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. But right now she's snoring. That's okay. We were just outside playing before the video, so before I was shooting the video. It is hot out there. Woo! I don't know how she stands it with her black coat, but and all of a sudden once I start to see her pant, I'm like, okay, maybe we should go inside, but she likes to be outside. All right, so just do a little pressing here with your finger to keep it nice and flat, okay? And then we just, like I said, we want to make sure we're getting up to the 70 inches, or we have to make sure this comes up to that point right there. So this span right here would have to equal 35, and we're still shy a bit. We're shy a bit, so we still got to get all the way to here. So we still have about like 8 inches to go. Okay, so let's keep making some progress. Okay, let's take these two. And that's why they say, you know, you have your choice of what fabrics you want to put in here, whether a thin one or a thick one or what have you. It's your chevron. You get from A to B any way you like. You just need to make sure you have that measurement, okay? So you want bigger pieces, you want little pieces, you want like a big chunk section, want a tiny section, you want to mix and match it, you want to zebra it, you do whatever you like. You know, the option is yours. And I like that about this block because you really just need to get yourself by 4 inches by 70 inches. So however you get yourself there, the creative ability is yours by the widths of the fabric that you cut of your accent fabric, or sorry, your main fabric, and then your accent fabric, and then of course your background fabric. Okay, so just press that right there with our little fingernail. Line this one up here. We'll do a few more and then we'll check. We'll check the length. And if we're right on, then we'll start trimming. Sorry. All right, now we want to make sure we're having the burnt orange, I guess. I'm going to call it burnt orange colored right there for the next fabric, because we're alternating between the oranges, right? So background fabric, light orange, background fabric, dark orange, background fabric, light orange. That's one. And of course, you can mix and match your fabrics any way you like. I apologize. Sorry. Tickle. And I think this project would look awesome in a rainbow in every single row. So you started off with your square of red, and you had like a couple of reds, and then you moved to a couple oranges, and then you moved to a couple yellows, and then a couple of greens, and then a couple blues, and then, you know, something like that I think would be really kind of fun and unique. And you don't always have to start off with red. You could be starting off with a yellow and make your way across the rainbow, starting off with the green and make your way across the rainbow and back again. I mean, the creativity is yours. Like, the only limitation is your imagination, and I say that all the time. So, you know, really just think on it and have some fun. Have some fun. Get inspiration from the youngins, the oldins, the someone's in between them, whatever. Just have some fun. It's just fabric and thread. Really, that's all it is. Be creative. Make pouches, make purses, make bags, make unique bed pockets for reading books and coloring books and whatever. You know, just have some fun. That is the main goal of life, is have some fun. All right, so let's do the background fabric here. We'll do like 3 more. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry. Let's hurry. Let's hurry. Who's cracking the whip? Let's kind of speed her up here, and we'll just kind of focus on getting to 3 more here, and then we'll see what the measurement is. just doing a finger press there, and then we're going to add our last little chunk on here, and then we're going to give it a measurement on our cutting board to make sure we at least have a full strip of a 4-inch by 70-inch, okay? All right, so let's give that, because that should be a few more pieces. And we'll give it a nice measurement. Let's flatten that out with our finger, okay? Added quite a bit. So let's try and fold this in half. And then where we would cut to make nice flat edges, we want to make sure, okay? Let's see what this measures out to be. Ooh, I think we're pretty much bomb diggity there. Okay, for sure. All right, so there's our strip. Let's give it a little press here. I did press the first half, but let's press since we pretty much started working on it for the video. Okay, give a nice flat pressing, and then what you want to do is line up your big ruler. Okay, lay it out flat. Okay, hold that flipped all the way over there. Lay it out flat just like this. Okay, and then you want to take the half, because it's supposed to be 4 inches, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, should be 4 inches. So where the 2-inch lies on your ruler, you want to make sure they're that every single little point, every little point, the best you can. Okay, like it's going to be a little bit, you know, here or there. All right, it's just the way life is with fabric. So try and line up the best you can. The 2-inch at the center arrow. You may have to kind of like tweak things to make sure they're going to work for you, because sometimes they're a little tweaky for sure. Okay, and then here, and then you're going to trim up one side just like that. Be brave. You got to do it. You got to do it. You can't not do it. Okay, so again, you can even help by putting that cut line on a line of your cutting board. Might help you. And then lining up the 2 right on where the center line is. Okay. Don't be afraid to adjust. I mean, you don't, just because things aren't lining up for you the first time around doesn't mean you can't tweak your fabric. Fabric is kind of very flexible, you know, like it has its moments of, you know, working for you and working against you. The best part is trying to make it work for you. So just kind of be patient. And be confident. You got to be confident in your cut. You can't be shy about it, right? Because those hesitant moments will be seen in how you cut your fabric. So make sure things are all lined up. Press nicely. Starch them if you need them. Okay, and of course these bits and bobs can go to another project, or you can just recycle them into a pincushion or something. Whatever you like. Okay, so there's one side. Okay, now we're going to flip it, and then we're going to do the same cut on the other side. Okay, still lining up in the center to make sure we're having a nice even 4-inch strip. Okay. And not only do you have the center line to work with where the 2-inch is, you also have where the 4 line is, where the line you just cut, so it should line up beautifully. Okay? Like I said, be confident. I know it's sometimes really toughy to cut it. But you can do it. You can do it, I know you can. Like I said, if my strip happens to be smaller than everybody else's because I misread it and thought it should be 4.5 and not 4, then oh well, I'm okay with that. It's not going to wreck my life. I have to say, I've had an amazing adventure on this project so far, and I cannot wait for the next like 7 blocks to be able to put this all together into one big, beautiful, gorgeous quilt. And I am so pleased that I was inspired by Miss Allison's project that she did and then sent to me to get quilted, that it's going to turn out. Oh, I'm just loving it. Absolutely loving it. I had so much fun quilting it that I had to make one of my own. What does that say? All right, there we go, everybody. That is part 5, row 4 of the Sugaridoo Quilt Along for 2019. And then you just kind of make sure that you square off this end to get your 70 and your 70 on this part. So right there, okay? So make sure you do that, and then you got your next block to go with the ones already listed, okay? Yay, I'm so excited. Thank you, everybody. Big hugs to you. We'll see you Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our live stream where we're going to do a little trapunto sample on this one, okay? The big rainbow Dresden. We're going to put a layer of batting behind it and just kind of stitch it down and then trim it up. And then we'll catch up on a little bit of Miss Hexadoodle's project, English Country Garden paper piecing that she has going on. So I'm very excited to show you my forget-me-nots and my marigolds, and then we're starting pansies for the month of June. So I'm very excited by that. So big hugs to you, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope you can join us on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. See ya. Take care.